We continue our learning about touch techniques, and we're going to progress on from minimal stimulation, and we'll also include swaddling. So this is the segment where you get to practice with your practice doll and learn how to swaddle. We want to make sure that we swaddle correctly. There's a right way and a wrong way to swaddle, and we need to be sure that we're triggering that calming reflex. Remember that calming reflex. We want to make sure that we're swaddling in a way that triggers that calming reflex for the baby. So get your practice doll, get your swaddle cloth, and we will begin by talking first about some of the other minimal stimulation techniques that we can learn about supporting our babies as we progress. So we know that any kind of touch is better than no touch at all. So we'd like you to start thinking about other ways that you can provide that skin-to-skin experience with our little ones. So one of the ways is that you can think about enveloping the baby in your space, and you can encourage your parents to do that too. So you can see that this dad has baby up skin to skin. He has his chin over baby's head, and we know that our babies have a little soft spot. They have that little open fontanelle. They're losing a lot of their body heat through that open fontanelle, through the soft spot on their head. So one way that you can provide touch in a minimally stimulating way is to just envelop the baby in your body space. And head on top of the head is such a nourishing thing. Maybe dad is humming. Wouldn't that be even more lovely? Baby's feeling that vibration. So if you put your hand on your chest right now and start humming, you can imagine how comforting that is for a little one. So then next we look at other ways of minimal stimulation. So one is a type of minimal stimulation we call hand containment. So you can see mom and dad both have their hands on this little one, and they're helping kind of bring her in and keep her in a little tucked position. She's only a day or two old in that photo. Other ways for minimal stimulation with hand containment is that you can actually hand swaddle. So you can bring baby's hands in and just sort of swaddle them and tuck them in, bring their little arms together, and just use your hands to provide a comforting hand swaddle for your babies. And then again, hands can rest on newborn's head, rest on any part of newborn's body. You can tuck their little feet in and have your hands resting. So all of these are hand containments and can really provide soothing, nurturing touch to for our newborns for their development. We know that our newborns are born with reflexes. One of the reflexes is the finger grasp. So even in the newborn intensive care unit with our little medically fragile babies and our preemies, if we just would put our finger there or encourage mom or dad to just put their finger right in baby's palm, baby will grab and hold on to that finger. And one technique that you can do if you're doing finger grasp with the baby is to then bring their hand into the midline and bring the other hand in. Just bringing their hands to the midline can also be a very soothing touch technique for babies. So we're ready to talk about the 5 S's, the swaddling. So in the last section, we talked about sucking and why that works and talked about sucking within context. So we want to do the same thing with swaddling. So swaddling is a type of minimal stimulation that can really help settle a baby. And we know that it replicates the snugness in the womb that the baby has been experiencing before birth, and then during the birth process. That's been a very, very snug experience for baby. Shoulders nice and snug. So for swaddling, the technique that Dr. Karp recommends is the down, up, down, up. So he calls it the doo-doo wrap. And I have to tell you, dads are really, really good at this because it just makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So with your swaddle cloth and with your baby, let's practice the down, up, and the down, up. So you have your swaddle cloth turned in a little bit, as you see in this very first image right here. So you've got the swaddle cloth turned down, and then you're going to bring, your first stroke is to bring that over the right shoulder, bring that part of the swaddle cloth down. Remember in the video, Dad was very snug with that cloth. He was very nurturing to little Miss Abby as she was fussy, but remember how he leaned in and he really brought that cloth. So nice and snug, bring that cloth down. And then the up part is that you want to just take this little dangly part that's coming down and just take the outside edge of it and just bring it up and tuck it under the cloth. Then the next down, which is right here in the image, is over the baby's other shoulder. Bring that cloth down again, nice and snug, nice and snug. And then your last up is to take the rest of the cloth that's hanging and then wrap it around. And depending on how long how big your swaddle cloth is, you may be just tucking it right in front. Or if it's long enough, like this swaddle cloth, it might actually wrap all the way around.